Hello everybody and welcome back to the Backlogs channel, and this is most likely going to be my final video on this Backlogs channel. Besides the day before the Switch 2 comes out, I'm gonna make a video where I kind of just talk about things, my feelings in the moment. Just recap everything about the Switch 2 that we know is coming out, everything that is coming out that day after, everything coming after that, talk about my feelings about the entire time up to the launch of the Switch 2, just a whole bunch of stuff. Just really hone in and get ready for the final countdown of the Switch 2 launch. Besides that video, this is probably going to be my last video without the Switch 2 being out, on this channel at least. Still thinking about a video for the main channel. I've been working on it for a while, just kind of fine-tuning it every so often I get a chance. So I have not abandoned the main channel, okay? It looks like I might have. I did not. I don't know. I just haven't yet. I just haven't posted the video I've been thinking about. It's just kind of like when I have time in between all my other stuff. But the thing about the Backlogs channel that I really love is I can just talk about anything. And then, I mean, I'm playing these games, like, for this video, I think I'm going to be playing Deltarune. I'm playing that game anyway. So why not kill two birds with one stone while I'm replaying Deltarune, waiting for Chapter 3 and 4 to come out in a few days for the Switch 2 launch? Why not just catch up on Chapter 1 and 2 again so it's refreshed in my mind? And yeah, so this channel is very easy going. It's not a whole bunch of editing. Believe me, it still is editing, because I be messing up how I talk a lot throughout these videos. But all that aside, let's get into the main topic of why I turned on the recording button on OBS and started talking into this little microphone in front of me. Switch 2's. Actually, you know what? I have a few things I want to talk about, but we're first going to start off with Switch 2's being in stores. Obviously, about at the beginning of this week. Today it's Sunday. I would say maybe halfway through the week, actually. It was like Wednesday or Tuesday. That's when stores started getting in Switch 2's into the store. And a few days ago, there was a picture of a Target. I think it was, maybe it was a Walmart, but I think it was a Target, and there was, you know, the cage that has those big bouncy balls that you'd pull out and you'd play with, and then you put them back in, that big cage at the end of an aisle of a row. One of those cages was filled to the brim, completely locked up on the show floor with Switch 2's in boxes, which is kind of crazy that they're even able to do that. I mean, I guess it is self-promotion at that point, but yeah, another thing I want to talk about is the idea that a lot of stores, from what I've heard, are going to have additional units of this console on launch. So to all those people that were stressing out because they weren't able to get pre-orders, no need to continue stressing about it. What most of these places are doing is they're having you put a pre-order down on something, some sort of game or something, for like $5, and then on the day of the Switch 2 launch, they're going to say, hey, there's this many consoles that were pre-ordered. We're gonna make a separate pile for them, all the pre-order people. And then we're going to have this extra separate pile of extra consoles that will be for anyone that is here that did not pre-order but has a pre-order down on something. And they'll just switch that pre-order to a console, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a Switch 2 without having to wait in the heat for 2.5 hours shout out to anyone that saw that video that I put out on the Backlog channel. It didn't get a lot of views, but it was one of my more favorite ones because it was my whole experience getting a pre-order for the Switch 2, which was nice. So, anyways, what I was talking about. Anyone that didn't get a Switch 2, there's still hope. Just show up on the day and see what you can do. Actually, you know what? Before the day comes, try to see if you can put a pre-order down on something else that you want and just hope that you get a chance to put that same pre-order money on a Switch 2 console. Anyways, there's also been news that Nintendo is not allowing anyone to be able to play the Switch 2 until the actual day of the launch. And the way that they're doing this is there's going to be a day one patch for the console that allows you to boot up any game on the console. So anyone that's been stealing them from stores and stuff, which there's been a few people on Twitter already taking home Switch 2s, because employees could just do that. They can hold it, they can boot it up, they can look at the home screen, and that's about it. They can maybe download a game or something, but they can't go into any game until day one with that patch. Which, on one hand, is a good thing. It makes it to where people can't leak any footage of anything that Nintendo doesn't want to be out there until the console comes out. And people also, people won't get this exclusivity for stealing than anyone else that actually got it legitimately on day one. But the bad part is, this makes it to where anyone, no matter what, no matter where, when you buy this console, you 100%, even if you never want to play it online, you will still at some point need to have an online connection to download this day one update, so that way you can actually play your games. Which begs the question, what if you don't have an online area? What if you're not in an area that has any online capability? What do you do then? Well, Nintendo really hasn't talked about it yet, but basically what's going to happen is you're going to buy that Switch 2, be like, I'm only buying Mario Kart World, I'm only buying Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'm only buying, Cyberpunk, and I'm only playing the offline portions of these games because I live in Antarctica, or something crazy like that. And you get home, you boot up your console, and it hits you with the update screen, and you're like, wow, I just bought this $450 console, plus my $80 game or $500 purchase, and I can't even use the console. It's actually kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. This is kind of the same situation that Xbox had when they were releasing the Xbox One in 2013. They were forcing you to have the Kinect plugged in at all times for the console to work. They were pushing no pre-owned discs or games. They all had to be new games. They were pushing the idea of your console always having to be online or else it wouldn't work. This Nintendo situation isn't as strong as that, but the online functionality part, it's similar. Yes, Nintendo isn't like you always gotta have an online account, or you don't have to always have your Switch connected to the internet, but you might as well, because if you connect it once, which you literally have to in the beginning, then you might as well just keep it connected at that point. Why would you disconnect a Wi-Fi signal that's already connected? That would do nothing for you. So, on one hand, it's gonna be a problem for the 0.0000001% of people out there in the world, but it'll still be a problem. This is a thing that makes the console unplayable for some people, and I just think that's a slight problem. But I really wanted to hop on here mainly because I saw that story about the Switch 2's in that cage in the middle of Target, and I thought it was interesting. I feel like I've never really seen a company do that before, and I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. See you guys in the next backlogs video. Bye bye.